Hello everyone, Earl Henderson and Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play this video and pause intermittently here and there to talk about things that are going on, to better explain what's going on, and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Without further ado, here we go.
Hello, my name is Captain Kelly Muniz, Commanding Officer of Media Relations Division of the Los Angeles Police Department. This critical incident community briefing is intended to provide you with information about a law enforcement related injury, also known as a LERI, that occurred in Foothill Division in the city of Los Angeles on May 10th, 2022 at around 12:53 p.m. A LERI is a use of force incident where an individual requires hospitalization. You're about to see relevant video footage and learn about other evidence and police procedures related to the case, so you can have a better understanding of what occurred based on what we know right now. The LAPD conducts very thorough use of force investigations, which typically require investigators to interview multiple witnesses, view numerous hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. We are still at the very early stages of this investigation, which can often take up to a year to complete, and our understanding of the incident may change as this additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. We also do not draw any conclusions about whether the officers acted consistent with our policies and the law until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete. A word of caution. The images and information you're about to see may be disturbing. When a police officer uses force to arrest a suspect or defend against an attack, it can be graphic and difficult to watch. In addition, there may be strong language used by those shown in the video. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers. Foothill patrol officers responded to a radio call of a burglary suspect at a business in the 12,300 block of Branford Street. The suspect had reportedly burglarized the same business the day prior and had returned a second time armed with a knife. Prior to the officers arriving to the location, the suspect was confronted by store employees, which caused him to run away. Here is the call and corresponding radio broadcast.
911 emergency, operator 272.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, Bon. I'd like to report, yesterday we had a burglary here, and I found the guy. He's in my room. He's sitting, he's laying down. Address is 1 Branford Street.
1 Branford Street?
Branford Street, yes.
Okay, is that a business or is that a residence?
Yeah, business.
What's the name of the business?
All Killings.
All
I found the guy. Yeah, I just saw the guy. He's laying down next to the couch. So
Did somebody see him do the burglary yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
We have the report and everything. Yeah. But the guy's still here.
Okay, hold on a sec. Is the person white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
White.
What color shirt and pants?
I'm sorry?
What color shirt and pants?
Black pants, a gray, black shirt and gray pants.
Black shirt, gray pants?
Yes.
For the United citizen following 449 suspect, Branford, stand by for additional. It's a 1262, 901654. For the United additional, the citizen following 449 suspect, Branford. The suspect is a male, white, black shirt, gray pants, armed with a knife. He's on Small San Fernando, walking towards Montague with the citizen following. Additional is a 1262.
Here is surveillance video that captured the suspect's actions prior to the officer's arrival. The store employees followed the suspect for several blocks until he ran into the Pacoima wash basin. When officers in an air unit arrived overhead, They observed the suspect running from the wash basin into an inactive strip mine nearby and directed responding patrol officers to his location. The suspect was later identified as Shawn Towne. The responding patrol officers were initially unable to locate Towne, but knew the approximate location of where he was. Notifications were made to Metropolitan Division K-9, who responded and located Towne hiding on a steep hillside covered in heavy brush. K-9 officers attempted to communicate with Towne in an effort to de-escalate the situation. However, he refused to comply with officers. K-9 officers then introduced a chemical agent in hopes of persuading Towne to surrender, but he again refused to comply. Towne then ascended further up the steep hill and began to throw several large rocks at officers, striking several of them. This prompted officers to fire multiple 40mm less lethal projectile rounds at Towne, who remained non-compliant and continued to throw rocks at officers. An additional notification was made to the climbing cadre assigned to Metropolitan Division Special Weapons and Tactics, also known as SWAT, who responded and were able to ultimately take Towne into custody. A portion of this incident was captured on the officer's body-worn video. Body-worn video cameras are used by most officers assigned to field duties. They are worn at chest level and capture a general perspective within line of sight from that angle. The angle of the camera prohibits viewers from seeing everything the officers saw and experienced. Upon activation, both audio and video will turn on. However, body-worn video cameras have a buffer of video without audio from the previous 2 minutes prior to the activation. This feature is designed to capture incidents that occur suddenly where an officer doesn't immediately activate the camera. Here is body-worn video from officers involved in this incident.
He broke in last night over there, and I just saw him. He ran. He went through here and he ran straight down. Okay. 6877. Suspect's going to be westbound through the wash right now. It's going to be between the wash right between 90 He's still wearing the same clothes.
What was he wearing? White t-shirt?
Cap, white t-shirt, his jacket's in his hand. I even have pictures of him from yesterday on camera.
Okay.
He just has his jacket off. Yeah.
345 Redwood Street, 459. The suspect is now westbound to the
He
wash.
has his jacket off in his hand.
Between 90 and 597 for 9.
Hey! We know you're laying inside the bush line. Come on out. If you don't, we're going to use less lethal weapons. It can hurt you. 40mm. Or even some gas. Right there. We know you're in there. Come on out. This goes, you're just going to shoot right through the top by that little ridge line.
Yeah, right where the rock is.
Yeah.
So this thing that he has, this is a 40 millimeter launcher. It's a breech-loaded tube that you can put a specialty cartridge into. It's a big fat thing, and it shoots a foam projectile. It's a less than lethal launcher, and it's colored this toxic green color. This is kind of unique to Los Angeles. They like to use this toxic green color for their less lethal stuff. They actually have some very custom taser guns from Axon that they're green. Like Axon, when you buy from Axon, you can only get them in black or yellow. Those are the two colors they offer. But they, of course, order so freaking many of them. They've got the custom green color. So they do that for their tasers, their 40 millimeter launchers, their 12 gauge beanbag shotguns. It's just something they do. But this launcher here, like I said, you can see the circumference of this thing. So that's about roughly how big this little rubber or foam projectile is going to be launched out of this low pressure launcher. It's breech loaded, meaning it can only fire one round at a time. So once he fires this thing, he's going to have to pop this thing open, put a new round in, close it, fire it, pop it open, reload, close it, fire it, pop it open, reload, close it, fire it. It's very slow. When it comes to these type of less lethal launchers, I don't think that these breech loaded things are very optimal. I like the large revolver style launchers. The multi-shot launchers has a big cylinder on there, just looks like an oversized revolver, and you pull the trigger and that little cylinder that holds like 6 rounds will just rotate and it will click, 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 and fire a bunch of rounds off. I think those are the most optimal thing to have, but they also cost a lot more in comparison to these single tube launchers. The single tube launchers, they just take forever to fire. Like I said, I just don't think they're very optimal. The foam projectiles that they fire, not the biggest fan of them. I see a lot of failure with them, just the same as seeing a lot of failure with the 12 gauge impact munitions. Just it's a pain compliance tool, and a lot of people can fight through that pain. Now, these launchers can also fire more than just foam projectiles. They can also fire smoke rounds. So if they wanted to, they could lob a smoke grenade really far away and start dispersing smoke in an area. Or, more likely for law enforcement, they could put a CS grenade in there and fire a CS grenade through a window and start spewing tear gas everywhere. But as far as what he's using it for right now, it's going to have a foam projectile in there. And what they had discussed was him firing around close to where this guy's hiding, because this dude's hiding, and just like a lot of criminals, they think if they stand still, no one's going to see them. And sometimes, without air support, officers have, said stuff like, "We see you, come out," when truly they don't see them at all. They don't even know that they're actually there. They're just bluffing. And then some people will heed to that bluff, and then boom, that's how they're found. So this suspect to be, thinking that they don't actually see him, and that if he stays still long enough, then they'll think, okay, no one's actually here, we'll go. So they're planning on shooting around really close to where he's at to let him know, hey, we actually do see you. We know where you're at.
Hey, that was a 40 round millimeter soft bullet. If you don't come out, we're going to use it again. You may get hit with it. It's not going to feel good. Come on out. There's nowhere else to go. The top of the hill has officers, the bottom, the sides. The gig's up. At least make some noise, let me know you're alright.
Okay, we're good to go. So again, 2 canisters into that little ravine. So stand by. Oh my god, my sweat when I'm lost. I can't even see.
That does suck.
Hey, actually, we're gonna put 2 in. Let me know if it's kind of exactly where you think it might be. Maybe go a little bit to the left, Josh. Steel. Yeah, he still won't go up there though. I can try. Ready?
Let him know that's what we're doing?
Yeah. Hey, 9 to 40. Canisters went in. They don't seem to be blooming too much, so they're settling in there. Give it a minute, and then I'm gonna see the dog go back in. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. No coughing and no movement.
I see his head right up there. So right here, his head just popped up. Watch out! Rock! Watch yourself. Hold on.
Oh, that's close, man.
Whoa! Stop throwing rocks!
Can we get that big bag up there? Get eyes on it?
Stop throwing rocks or you're gonna be shot!
7 to 40. Hey, 40, radio check. Roger, go ahead. Hey, 7 to 40, I'll welcome back to you. I need your multi-launcher, some extra 40 ammo, and some waters. Roger, that's coming.
Okay, dude. Good shots. Can I help you out?
It's just interesting that where they were originally at was just this urban street, and now it looks like they're almost out in the middle of nowhere in some austere environment. But apparently this is an old strip mine. I don't know what kind of strip mine it was, what they was mining for back in the day, or how old it was, or how old it is. But it's actually kind of cool looking. But you can see the urbanization over here in this area. So, and you can see all these, looks like utility poles and stuff. So, I don't know if this is actually dead smack in the middle of the big city. I mean, it's obviously, within Los Angeles, so the city's got to be all around it. So, it's just kind of cool. Which I've never been out to LA, so everything I see on LA is obviously, documentaries and movies and stuff like that, and it was always just urban, just roads and sidewalks and stuff like that. And it's interesting to see something kind of beautiful like this that would be dab smack in the middle of a big metropolitan city.
Out of here.
gotta do everything I say, you understand?
Something slowly moving towards them. Something is flying.
Where's the knife, dude?
There's no knife.
You got no knife on you?
Good job. Alright.
Alright, give me that hand.
Alright, buddy.
Alright, man. Just lay down right here.
Oh, my rib. They saw me with a thing and my rib's broken.
So they apparently hit him with some 40 millimeter. I guess he finally decided that he wasn't having any of it and it hurts. So he gave up. That's pain compliance right there. Could he have fought through that? Certainly he could have fought through that. Now to get to him, this terrain that they're in, it's kind of steep. And you see this one officer having to use a crawling technique essentially just to ascend a part of this hill. And you see this officer here, he's on line. He's got this line affixed to an anchor somewhere, and he has descending equipment on. So either he has a rack or a figure eight plate. Not sure which he has from this angle, but he's got something to descend. I highly doubt he'd be using something like a Munter's hitch or anything like that, but I can't pause it good enough to see what he's got.
Where's the knife, dude?
There's no knife.
You got no knife on you?
Good job. Alright.
Alright, give me that hand.
Alright, buddy.
Alright, man. Just lay down right here.
Oh, my rib. They saw me with a thing and my rib's broken. I'm gonna need to tie him in first.
Sit on chair. Alright, man. We're gonna have you grab a seat right here, okay?
Climb up.
Alright, let's get you grab a seat.
There you go. Are you on?
Alright, I'm just gonna check you for...
Oh, so he has a what the heck's this thing called? It's from Petzl. It's really badass.
Let's get you grab a seat.
There you go. Are you on?
Alright.
I cannot remember the name of this thing, but it's really cool though, man. It's got like this little handle thing they use to descend on. It's the cat's meow. For the life of me, I cannot think of the name of it. I want to say it starts with like a G, like it's like the GG or the Geary or what is that thing? I'm looking it up right now. It's bugging me. Petzl Descender. So it's a self-braking descender. It looks like it's called, but I thought it had a more gree. Maybe this is what it is. It's the bolt no, because it's the belay device. It looks it could be the gree. So that might be a gree. Yeah, so it's a self-braking descender, and you loop you feed the rope through there, and it goes through these little special channels, and it's just a cool way to descend down a rope. So it takes out the need for a figure eight plate or a rack with little bars on there that you latch on and off to control the amount of friction on there. Like I said, it's a pretty cool device. It's not cheap at all. Looking on this quick search I just did, I see $239 from one place. Another one shows $99.95. So this must be kind of two different things that I'm looking at. It's been a while since I've messed with ropes, but somewhere between $100 and $200 is about what these things can run for. And like I said, they're pretty cool. So if you're used to rope stuff, if you've done anything with ropes, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been rappelling or anything like that, you may be used to a figure eight with ears, or even just a regular figure eight to do your rappelling on, or the rack. It's like a long piece of metal with these little metal bars that you can move on and off the thing to weave the rope through. And this is just a nicer, cooler way to be able to go down rope. Anyway, moving on.
I'm just going to check you for weapons, okay? You got no knife or nothing?
No.
What's this in your pocket here? What's this in your pocket? What's this? Yeah, knife?
This is like what the
Myself and Leo can make our way back up so we can bring them up.
So part of me says that where they were at and they popped him, they should have just told him to continue coming down the damn hill. That would have been the safer thing for everyone involved to do. It does not appear to me that this officer who's in contact with him right now is tied off. Meaning, if this dude became combative, he could start rolling down the hill and incur some injuries. Whereas this officer, he's obviously tied off. He loses his footing. He's just going to fall right there and not go anywhere. So trying to get a hold of this guy, detain him, and then bring him up, that's risky. I think the better alternative would have been, where they were at, they popped him with whatever they popped him with. They should have just told him, hey, slide on your ass to us. Like, you got yourself up there, you can get yourself down. I think that would have been the safest thing to do. As far as trying to get him to go uphill, they could have treated this more like a high-low angle rescue, bring a litter down, secure him into the litter, and then just do a haul team and take him up the side of this hill here inside a litter. Otherwise, him being a potential threat and his arms being free and being able to fight, it's just not a safe option like this. So either A, litter him up and take him up topside, or B, where he was at, tell him come down. He can scoot on his ass down the hill, but he got his ass up there. He can get his ass down. If not, fucking pop him again with whatever they popped him with. He'll fucking do it, because obviously he don't like the pain, and pain is a hell of a motivator. If people don't like that pain, they're going to stop what the fuck ever it is they were doing to make that pain stop. So if you don't like that pain, then in order to stop feeling that pain, bring your ass down the hill. You got yourself up there.
Roger that. On my line, I don't have so if you can send
Okay, Bill, you're going to have to give us a minute, Bill, or Leo and I are going to have to make our way back up. Just if you can, connect your harness to them, and then connect him to your line, and then we'll bring him back up. You can just walk up, and he'll be connected to the line. I'm out of line, so I'll make my way back up and try to link up with you guys to help you pull him up. Roger that, Mike. We'll see you up there. Hey, we. Yeah, go for it. I'm going to be making my way back up to you, and I'll give you further direction once I get access.
Where's the hurt? Okay, yeah, you're going to be okay, man. It's
What just planned you?
Because they have you start here already.
Okay, so can we connect the suspect to Phil's line? Myself and Leo can make our way back up, and we can bring him up. Roger that, high contact suspect. On my line, I don't have a harness.
The 40mm less lethal device fires a foam projectile round. The round strikes the person's body and is intended to cause pain. While there may be bruising, it is designed to distribute energy over a broad surface area and not penetrate the body. The primary target for this less lethal device is the navel or belt line. Towne was transported by Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics to a local hospital and was later admitted for an injury he sustained to his mouth. The cause of Towne's injury has not been determined. However, based on the totality of the circumstances and an opinion given by the treating physician, it is believed that the injury sustained may have been caused by a less lethal projectile that inadvertently struck him on the left side of his jaw. As a result, this incident is being investigated as a categorical use of force incident because the force used cannot be ruled out as the cause of the injury. Investigators recovered a utility knife from Towne and booked it as evidence. On May 13th, 2022, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office filed the following charges against Towne: 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon and 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer.
So in Los Angeles times, what that means is dude's already out of jail. And it's probably been acquitted of these charges. So if you haven't followed any news out of California, there's this dude in Los Angeles. He's a prosecutor. He is horrible. Like, he is letting everybody get away with damn near everything. There was actually a case where a juvenile, like almost an adult juvenile, like 15, 16 years old, something like that, maybe even 17, gangbanger, obviously, murdered a person, and the prosecutor decided to go with the least restrictive option for this person. Instead of locking them away and doing hard time, I think what ended up happening was they sent them to a youth camp. And so youth camps are these places where juveniles involved in the justice system can go to, and it's still a secure area in a sense. Like, it's a summer camp jail, basically, is what it is. They're not free to leave the place. They can't, just go there for a couple hours and then go home. Like, they have to live here at this camp, and each place is a little bit different. But you generally have to, do some type of manual labor or something like that there. And that's the state's view and option on rehabilitating juvenile offenders. And this person decided to send a killer like that to one of these places. No real fucking punishment whatsoever. And the family had obviously, a big problem with this, and it actually made the news. This prosecutor has also done some other crazy ass shit. And I want to say I remember seeing something in the news where people were actually calling for this guy to be either impeached or recalled. I think that the term they were saying that they need to recall him or something like that. Basically, vote him out, get him out of there, because this dude's obviously a problem. Very, very, very woke, liberal-minded kind of person. And unfortunately, that kind of bullshit is happening in a lot of large cities. For whatever reason, the people who make it to the prosecuting office end up being some of your most, far out left liberals, and they just fucking keep letting the criminals loose. It's sad. It's sad for the people who live there who have to deal with that shit, because the bad guys aren't being locked away. The violent ones are not being put away where they need to be to keep the public safe. And the people they're victims. They are victims to the people who are supposed to be protecting them. So yeah, even though this occurred in May 13, right now time of recording is June 16. I would not be surprised to find out if this dude's already out of jail and is on probation over this bullshit. I would not be surprised at all to find that out.
Shawn Towne is a 48-year-old resident of Burbank. In the next several months, the LAPD will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. We will continue interviewing any new witnesses that may come forward and complete 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. Shawn Towne is a...
All right, so that's about it on this video. So obviously this was on an officer-involved shooting video, but it did involve the use of force to be able to bring this guy into custody. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.